Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Andrea and I have been selling on Etsy for 8 years. This YouTube channel is just where I talk about my shop's journey on Etsy, things I'm trying, things I'm currently learning, strategies I've used in the past. Basically, we talk about Etsy on this channel. So if that is what you are interested in, you are in the right place. Today specifically, I'm going to be answering the question, what should I do first for my Etsy shop? Okay, so if you are new to Etsy or you are wanting to start on Etsy or you've opened your shop but you're not taking it seriously, you might be finding out that there is a lot of overwhelming information on the internet about Etsy. Like I mentioned in the little intro thing, I have been selling on Etsy for 8 years and honestly I'm really grateful that the culture surrounding Etsy has changed. But whenever I started out, researching stuff was not a thing, and honestly, I think that might be a good thing. Granted, overall, I'm so glad that content on the internet like this and from other amazing Etsy YouTubers, from them as well, exists because it makes the journey so much easier. But I also do think that that can add to the overwhelm of Etsy and can make people not start at all. And so I just wanted to make a video with I think it's 3 things what I have. Yeah, 3 things about what you should do first if you're starting on Etsy or you really want to start taking your Etsy shop seriously. Just the things that you should do first to kind of cut the overwhelming feelings and just kind of give you a straightforward plan of action as you start to take your Etsy shop seriously. Okay, so the very first thing that you are going to want to do if you are about to start really taking Etsy seriously is roughly establish a marketing plan. And I want to put a heavy emphasis on roughly. I think that sometimes people take marketing, logistics, shipping, they take it all way too seriously in the beginning and they overcomplicate it to no end to the point where they actually don't do anything because they're just so, overwhelmed by all the options that they could have. And so I just want to really emphasize that all you need to do is choose a general direction for the marketing of your shop, and then you can hit the ground running. But you do need to think about this just a little bit so that you know where to spend your time on. So obviously there are a billion ways that you can market your shop. We're just gonna talk about 2 because I feel like they're the 2 most common ways to market, the 2 most common forms of marketing that you'll see on Etsy. And so basically, I think that with the rough path that you could choose an SEO path, which is the path that I use in my own shop. If you hang out on this YouTube channel at all, you will know that I do not choose the second path, which is social media. There is nothing wrong with either. Recently, I got an email that was like, I heard you hate social media for Etsy and it's ruining Etsy shops. I do not feel that way. It just did not work for me, and it did not work for me either to dedicate the time or resources to tackle both. So I am assuming that if you are brand new to Etsy, I really do think that it would be best, it'd be wise if you are just now in the phase of starting to take Etsy seriously is to choose one path and get really good at it, and then either think about doubling down on the path that you chose or adding the second path, a second stream of marketing, which would be a second stream of revenue. So whenever I'm talking about Etsy SEO or social media, I am talking about you driving sales through Etsy search. So really Etsy driving sales, or you driving the search through the sales through your social media platform. So basically, if you are taking the SEO path, you will need to be focusing on things like SEO best practices, keywords, trending items, all that kind of stuff. If you are going to take the social media path, you will need to be focused on content creation, building your audience, fostering trust through social media, and selling on social. Very, very, very different forms of marketing, both of which work really, really well for a lot of sellers. On this particular YouTube channel, you will not find a ton of social media resources or education because that is not the path that I chose for my shop. I am of the belief that for me, with my skill set and my personality, that SEO was the easier path, and so that's the one that I took. And so if you're interested in that, you feel free to deep dive on this YouTube channel. But basically, you need to choose a rough path of what you are going to do. Do not overcomplicate this. Do not say I'm going to do Instagram and 3 posts a week and I'm going to do stories and TikTok and all this stuff. You do not need to make a plan. You just need to choose, like, basically, do you want to do keywords and SEO or do you want to do social media? Which one do you want to focus on first? And then you're ready to move on to the next step. The second step for the second step for the first thing that you should do for your Etsy shop, which makes no sense, but basically what you're going to do now that you have a rough marketing plan in mind, this really dictates your steps from here. So what you're gonna do now is list your items with that rough marketing plan in mind. So if you are taking the SEO route, you are gonna need to put a heavy emphasis on keywords, descriptions, filling out your shop fully, basically every best SEO practice that you can do. You might even need to get like an Everbee subscription. I have mentioned on this channel before that I use Everbee. You can get a free trial and the link in the description, which gives you like 10 free searches a month. I have the growth plan on Everbee and I use it for product research and also keyword research. So you might need to be doing something like that. Basically, if you are going to take the SEO route, you need to be taking SEO and keywords very, very seriously when you list your items, because I am of the belief that most of the SEO best practices, there are a lot, and I'm gonna be sharing a video in like a couple weeks about SEO best practices that have nothing to do with your listings, but I'm of the belief that most of your SEO best practices are formed on that listing page, like when you're actually creating the listing. So you are gonna need to spend more time on that if you are choosing SEO. On the flip side, if you are choosing social media, you will not need to spend much time on keywords at all. Obviously, you can add either later. So don't get overwhelmed. You just wanna choose what you're gonna do first and focus on that. And then if later on you wanna add social media, or later on if you're choosing social media, you wanna really focus on keywords, you can do that. But for the time being, if you choose social media as your rough marketing plan, your second step would be just to get your products live with like as little effort as possible to where people can go check out. Because your people are going to be getting sold and they're gonna find your products through your social media. So your next step would be to list your items pretty much with like as bare bones as possible, and then really, really focus on building an audience on social media, going and really finding your people on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, whatever social media platform you resonate with the most, and really selling them through there, because that is where you're getting your views. You're not getting your views from SEO. And so you really need to not worry about SEO at all right now and focus on getting views and clicks to your products through the platforms that you are wanting to market them on. Okay, so now you have your marketing plan roughly chosen. You have like a wide path to walk down. You've chosen what you want to do roughly. You've listed your items. Now is the time, in my opinion, I am a huge believer in this. I think it is not talked about enough at all in the Etsy world. It is time to focus on really good customer service and fast shipping. So you are working on getting orders at this point. With every single order that you get, every single message that you receive, try and have the best customer service possible and ship it as fast as you can. I am a firm believer that good reviews go such a long way, both in social media, because you can share the review to your social media like as a post or story, and also as an SEO strategy. Good reviews matter a lot for Etsy SEO. And so I am of the belief that the best way to get good reviews is to have good customer service and fast shipping. I'm also of the belief that it is the cheapest way to do it. We have people regularly ask me, like on like YouTube, not my customers. On YouTube, I have people regularly ask me like, why don't you send out something free with your packages? And to be honest with you, it's because I don't have to, because I ship them fast enough to where my people don't care. They just want what they bought and they want it to be good and they want to be handled well whenever they want to be like treated well, answered nicely whenever they ask a question, and then they want it to come in time, woo, sunlight, and they want it to come in time for them to use it for whatever they wanted. So I am of the belief that the best easiest, cheapest way to get good reviews is to answer convos thoroughly, quickly, honestly, and well, just be good at customer service, and also ship your items really, really quickly. Okay, so that is kind of the first 3 things that I would focus on if I was brand new to Etsy. If I was starting out on Etsy right now, I would focus on establishing a rough marketing plan, kind of working towards the next step, listing my items with that marketing plan in mind, and then focusing on getting really good reviews. After you do all these things, of course, you can then focus on streamlining your systems. You can focus on branding. You can refine your marketing strategy or add the other one that you didn't choose. So if you want SEO, you could add social media. If you want social media, you could add in working on keywords. This is all to be done after you get that basic streamlined shops running, you're getting orders in, you're working, and then you start adding in the other things. That is the time that you want to actually start working on all of that. Whew, okay, that sunlight is I need my camera to adjust. I wanted to say a quick word about waiting to do branding. I am not of the belief that you need to have a 100% branding plan in order to start on Etsy. Obviously, there is something to be said for just knowing if you want your photos light or dark and all that kind of stuff, and just having an overall brand vibe. But I don't think you should spend too much time on establishing your brand in the beginning before you're getting sales. I'm of the belief that getting sales is more important and also will help you more with branding. It'll help you more, help you establish your brand more, because you can look at things like what people are consistently saying, what is working for you, what's not working for you. All of those sorts of things you can do once you're actually getting sales and reviews and feedback. So I am definitely of the belief that rather than focusing on branding, and especially not logos, packaging, none of that, rather than focusing on that, in the early days, you should be focusing on sales, just getting sales, because then all of that information that you're getting from those sales, sorry, the light is literally crazy right now. It's going from cloudy to sunny. All of the information that you're getting from those sales, you can take that feedback and apply it to your brand whenever you want to do things like really hone in and nail down a brand. I am not saying that branding is bad at all. I just do think that getting sales is more important, and I think that it's really, really important to be very, very strategic when you're choosing what to do first with your Etsy shop. All in all, these 3 steps were chosen to, I carefully, when I was writing out my script for this video, I carefully chose these 3 things as the first thing to get both, check all the boxes of what needs to happen for you to start your Etsy shop, but also not overwhelm you. So I really do think that these 3 things are essential, and I think that nothing else is essential until after these 3 things are done. And really, this is not hard, and it should not overwhelm you. My goal is always on this channel is to break it down and make it feel not overwhelming, whether it be starting SEO or starting a shop in general or photographing your listings. I want it to feel simple and easy, and just you can tackle it, you can do it. So I really hope that this video was helpful if you're about to start out and you're not feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling like you now have the knowledge and the next steps that you need in order to tackle actually starting your Etsy shop. If you are new to Etsy or you're interested in growing on Etsy, I make 2 YouTube videos a week all about Etsy, so make sure to hang out and subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video was helpful.